واحد حتى يمكن مجرد يعني ريفيجن بسيط تفهم. Today I will examine the parts of the female reproductive system and the mammary glands. The female reproductive system consists of the two ovaries, the oviducts, uterus, cervix, and vagina. This is like the section in the ovary. Each ovary has almond shape. It is surrounded by a single layer of simple cuboidal epithelium called surface or germinal epithelium. Surface or germinal epithelium, single layer of simple cuboidal epithelium, continuous with the mesenteries and overlying a layer of connective tissue called tunica albuginea, similar to that of the testis. Surface or germinal epithelium beneath tunica albuginea. Each ovary has two regions. This is the cortex, a region with a stroma consisting of connective tissue with ovarian follicles. And medulla, a layer of connective tissue with blood vessels entering the ovary from the hilum. These are ovarian follicles. The follicles that are formed during fetal life called primordial follicles. At higher magnification, we can see the primordial follicle. Each follicle has a primary oocyte surrounded by a single layer of flattened follicular cells. This is a primordial follicle consisting of a primary oocyte surrounded by a single layer of flattened follicular cells. The primary oocyte is spherical with large nucleus containing chromosomes in the first meiotic prophase. This is another primordial follicle. Oocyte, flattened follicular cell. By the beginning of the puberty, under the influence of follicular stimulating hormone from pituitary glands, the follicular cells change from flattened into simple cuboidal epithelium. And the follicle is called unilaminar primary follicle. unilaminar يعني طبقة واحدة. نعم.
صارت هنا هاي مو سميناها درومت فوليكل؟
هذه امبريولوجي هي كلها جراوند، من راح تجي منها البرايمري كلها نسميها جراوند. تمام؟ هي في مرحلة بروليفريشن، تمام؟
بالهيستا شو اسمها؟
هسه هناك هيستولوجي لأنه سنجل لاير حتكون unilaminar primary follicle. حتى إذا تكتبها جراوند follicle تتروح. Unilaminar primary follicle consisting of oocytes surrounded by a layer of simple cuboidal epithelium. The follicular cells continue to proliferate, forming a stratified epithelium called the granulosum. And the follicular cells become granulosal cells. The follicle is called multilaminar primary follicle. Multilaminar primary follicle. And these cells are called granulosal cells. This is the oocyte and granulosal cells. The whole structure called multilaminar primary follicle. The surrounding stroma also proliferate and differentiate into theca folliculi, consisting of two layers, theca interna, theca externa. Theca interna consisting of secretory cells. اللي هي secrete
استروجين وبروجسترون.
أي androgen اللي هو precursor for estrogen. Yes. Aromatase وين موجود؟ granulosa cells. Theca interna and theca externa. Theca externa consisting of fibroblasts and collagen fibers. Multilaminar primary follicle. The spaces between granulosa cells are filled with fluid called follicular fluid, and these spaces are united to form crescent-shaped cavity called the antrum. And the follicle is called secondary follicle, vesicular follicle, or antral follicle. Granulosa cells, oocytes, and this is the crescent-shaped antrum. The whole structure called antral follicle or secondary follicle. Theca interna and theca externa. This structure is the mature or Graafian follicle. This is the oocyte surrounded by granulosa cells called corona radiata. Granulosa cells also project into the lumen, forming the
Cumulus oophorus.
cumulus oophorus. Cumulus oophorus, oocyte corona radiata. This is large antrum, theca interna and theca externa. Any question about the follicles? اللي هي extracellular material secreted by the oocytes. تمام؟ Zona pellucida. An extracellular material secreted by the oocytes. Zona pellucida contain many proteins. The most important proteins in here, zona pellucida 3 and 4. Second section in the ovary but for corpus luteum. After ovulation, the remaining granulosa cells and theca cells reorganize to form large temporary endocrine organ called the corpus luteum. This is the corpus luteum, consisting of granulosa cells and theca cells. Granulosa cells become greatly large in size, forming granulosa lutein cells, and the cells of theca interna forming theca lutein cells. Theca lutein cells are found in the folds or within the folds of the corpus luteum. Granulosa lutein cells comprise 80% of the corpus luteum. This is corpus luteum, granulosa lutein cells and theca lutein cells. Another section in the ovary showing the corpus albicans.
There will be degenerations.
If fertilization doesn't occur,
Corpus luteum.
fibroblast from stroma invade the region of corpus luteum, forming a scar tissue, and this region is called corpus albicans. Appear as a whitish area. Corpus albicans. Second part of the female reproductive system, cross section in the uterine tube or the oviduct. This is a cross section. Uterine tube or the oviduct has folded mucosa, thick muscular layer, serosal continuous with the ligament and mesentery. يتميزون عن اليوريتر عن الفاز ديفرنس من خلال وجود الميزوسالفنس. تمام؟ The lining epithelium is simple columnar epithelium consisting of two types of cells, secretory cells and ciliated cells. Beneath lamina propria, the muscular layer consisting of circular and longitudinal layer, and then serosal. This is simple columnar epithelium, muscular layer found within the wall of the oviduct or uterine tube. Slide a section in the uterus. The uterus has four regions: body, fundus, isthmus, and the cervix. The wall of the uterus has three major layers. Inner layer called endometrium. This is endometrium consisting of the surface epithelium, which is simple columnar epithelium with two types of cells. Beneath lamina propria of connective tissue, within lamina propria we can see the uterine glands. Uterine glands. Second layer, which is the thickest layer, highly vascularized muscular layer called the myometrium. This is the myometrium. Third layer is not seen in this section called perimetrium, is an adventitial layer. The endometrium can be subdivided into two: the superficial functional layer and basal layer adjacent to the myometrium. This is myometrium and this is the basal layer of the endometrium, contain the deep basal ends of the uterine glands. This section of the uterus during the follicular phase or estrogenic phase. We can see the uterine glands appear as straight tubules with narrow and relatively empty lumen. إذا جبنا لكم إياها بالامتحان in the exam, write the face of the this structure راح يكون جوابكم هو proliferative, follicular or estrogenic phase. The main characteristic feature راح تكون uterine glands appear as straight tubules with narrow and empty lumen. تمام؟ The second phase was secretory phase or luteal phase. Here we can see the uterine glands become coiled or tortuous and dilated lumen filled with secretion. واضح الفرق؟ Coiled or tortuous, dilated lumen filled with secretion. هذا الفرق. تعتمدون على shape of the uterine glands.
ترى ذاك قلت سكرتري فيز مو؟
هذا
آخر
two
واحد.
phases. أول واحد
Follicular.
كان الفوليكولار، الثاني secretory phase. The lower part of the uterus, lower cylindrical part of the uterus called the cervix. This is the endocervical mucosa with simple columnar epithelium on a very thick lamina propria containing a branched mucus secreting gland called cervical glands. Simple columnar epithelium, lamina propria with mucus secreting cervical glands. This projection of the endocervical mucosa called plica palmati. Plica palmati. This side of the cervix called exocervical mucosa, consisting of non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelium. This region lacks glands, cervical glands. Exocervical mucosa continuous with the epithelium of the vagina. The junction between endocervix and stratified squamous epithelium called transformation zone or transformation area. This is a transformation zone or transformation area. Endocervical mucosa, exocervical mucosa. Junction, transformation area. Last part of the female reproductive system is the vagina. Stratified squamous and keratinized beneath lamina propria rich in elastic fibers and muscularis layer of inner circular and thick outer longitudinal. Surrounded by adventitia. This slide is stained by trichrome stain. لاحظتوا اللون مختلف؟ Trichrome stain. Section in vagina. The main characteristic feature, stratified squamous, non-keratinized. الصبغة trichrome stain. We have another section of vagina but stained by hematoxylin and eosin. Stratified squamous, lamina propria, eosin and hematoxylin. Mammary gland.
صار شلون رقم 7
خلص
نطلع
mammary
البيت.
gland.
عمل 3 رقم 3 بعد
Each mammary gland has from 15 to 25 loop. Each loop has compound tubulo-alveolar secretory units with lactiferous ducts and terminal ducts. The lining epithelium of each duct is simple cuboidal epithelium. Both the secretory units and duct system are embedded within connective tissue stroma rich in adipocytes. In non-pregnant adult women, each loop consists of the ducts with very small or rudimentary secretory units. Duct portions with very small or rudimentary secretory units in non-pregnant adult women. Mammary gland during lactation, during the pregnancy, this is mammary gland during the pregnancy. We can see the alveoli or the secretory units together with the terminal and lactiferous ducts are filled with a fluid called cholesterol. This fluid contains proteins and leukocytes. This is mammary gland during pregnancy. We can see that stroma becomes less prominent. على عكس قبل ده كانت الستروما هي يعني most prominent during the pregnancy becomes less prominent. Mammary gland during lactation, both the secretory and the ducts are filled with nutritive milk secretions. Acidophilic milk secretion. هذا السلايد يشبه أي سلايد؟ يشبه thyroid. لكن شلون نميزه؟ نميزه من وجود الفاكيولز found within the milk. These vacuoles هذه الفقاعات هي سببها إنه المilk rich in lipids droplets. الليبيدز يصير بيه dissolved during the preparation leaving vacuoles. فتميزوها عن الثايرويد تكون الاسيدوفيليك material without vacuoles. In mammary gland during lactation, both the secretory portion and the duct are filled with nutritive milk, acidophilic milk with vacuoles.
سؤال الصورة تختلف عن أول
لا the same. All slides stain with hematoxin and eosin except for the vagina stained by trichrome stain. تميزوها trichrome تكون يعني green. فهاي كلش مهمة اعتبروها السلايدات كلها جاية. تمام؟ خلاص المختبر.